feel you. Is this thing on? Is this thing recording? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Yo, what's good? What's up, my soldiers? Welcome back to another Fitz Friday. It's your boy Fitz, and we back. As you can see, I'm in the middle of rolling up, so if you haven't rolled already, make sure you get into it. If you're new here, what's good? What's up? Welcome. I'm Fitz, singer-songwriter. I do it all. Like I'm working on my own clothing line. You feel me? I'm dropping new music for y'all every Tuesday. My own little mixes and remixes that I got going on, a Fitz mix, if you call it, on Tunes Tuesdays. I'm here giving y'all story times every single Friday. And yeah, we working. We are working. If you haven't already, go make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, because as I say every week, we lit over here. Yeah. If you read the title, yeah, it gave that. It gave that. That's why you guys have to be following me on Instagram. I put in a poll in my story for you guys to vote which story time you would like to hear every Friday. I even do it for the Fitz mixes every Tuesday. So that's why you have to be following me on Instagram, because you guys really like decide it all. I let you guys decide everything. If it wasn't for y'all, I don't know what I would do. That's why I love y'all. But you know, back to the story time, because I know y'all like, okay, get to it. Okay, so this takes place back in I want to say 2016, 2017. Of course, we're not gonna give no names. We're not gonna give nobody no clout. We're not doing that. But of course, they're gonna have nicknames. So, the main people in this story are myself. And then we have my first friend. We're going to name him. We're gonna name him Bangers. That's Bangers, alright? So Bangers, because that nigga was always fighting. And then we got Dusty. Bangers and Dusty, right? These are my two friends, Bangers and Dusty. To be honest with you, Dusty was never really a friend of mine. We always just shared a mutual friend, which was Bangers. Me and Bangers met freshman year of college. That was my ace boom coon. Like, that was my ride or die. Like, you feel me? Like, if I ain't have it, he had it. If he ain't had it, I had it. Like, that's the type of time we was on. Like, he was like my brother from another mother. Met him freshman year, on campus, at school. And yeah, so we were inseparable ever since. Along the way, of course, you meet other friends individually on your own time, or whatever other activities you have going on. Whatever the case may be, you make your own friends. I've never been that type of friend to be like, oh no, this is my friend and my friend can't have other friends. Like, that's never been the type of time I've ever been on with any of my friends. Everybody has their own friends, period. This particular individual was someone that had been around us like early on years, like when we first met, like when we first, because me or Bangers, or Dusty, neither of us were from Atlanta, but we all eventually migrated there basically. So it was just us being friends, hanging out, going clubs, like all of that type of shit. Let's fast forward, right, to like what should have been my like junior year of college, right? At this point in time, I had transferred schools from the original school I had moved out to Atlanta to go to. And now I'm at a different school. I just got out of a relationship, and I was staying with Bangers. Yeah, I moved in with Bangers to stay with him, right? Lo and behold, he tells me like, oh yeah, one of my other friends is actually like in the middle of like getting his things together and leaving out or whatever, so you know, y'all may cross paths. Okay, no problem. I don't know who this other friend is because he didn't say and I didn't ask because that's none of my business. Like, the day comes for me to move in. I take all my shit from where I was staying at with my ex, and like I move in with my best friend, basically. Ideally, this is what's happening, like, in my mind. Don't be judging me either, because I'm sure y'all like, damn, you just finished rolling that. Mind your business, please. I move in with Bangers. Moving day comes. It's just Bangers, his boyfriend, and me. And it had been that way for a minute. I say like a good 2-3 weeks. Still hadn't known who the friend was, who was staying there. Like, I never asked, like, because it wasn't none of my care, like, at all. So, one random day, like, we hear somebody putting a key in the door and coming up the stairs. So I'm like, oh, this must be the friend. So now I'm curious, like, curiosity is like raging up, like, oh shit, you're finally about to see who this other person is. So he gets up the stairs and lo and behold, it's Dusty. So I'm like, oh, this nigga. So we speak, whatever. Now we all chopping it up. Everybody cool. No problems, right? One drunken night, we're all sitting down, right? Chilling, chopping it up, talking. And Dusty out of nowhere says, you know, because back then they called me Tony. So he's like, you know, Tony, I'm gonna be honest, I never really liked you. And I'm like, what? Why? He's like, cause I always felt like whenever you came around, like, Bangers will always just like pay you more attention, or like wouldn't really like have the same vibe that he would when you not around. And what the fuck that gotta do with me? How you mad at me and don't like me for that? I'm not doing nothing wrong. All I did was show up and chop it up with my friend like I always do. Like, you're just another body that's here, and you're here by default because you know my friend. Like, that's it. So I don't know what you want me to do. Like, I interact with you. I don't give you the cold shoulder. I don't like make you feel like I don't want to be around you. So that's all personal. And that was what the conversation was, because I'm like, nigga, there's no reason for you to ever feel like you don't like me. And he was like, I honestly never really got the chance to know you, and I guess now being around you more since we both here, like, I'm seeing like you're actually cool. And I'm like, yeah, like, I don't bother nobody. Like, if you don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you. I stay to myself. Like, if we cool, we cool. Like, that's it. That's just the background story, right? So now the time comes for me to leave out of there, because I'm leaving out of there to go back where I was coming from, basically. I didn't take everything with me because it wasn't enough room in the car that I was getting a ride to where I was going. One day, I finally went and got the rest of my stuff. Like, later that week, I went and got the rest of my stuff, right? Okay, wait. Let me let me rewind. So the day that I was leaving, damn, I need a lighter. Wait, okay. We back. Rewinding, right? The day that I'm going to pack up, I pack all my shit because I personally don't want anybody packing my things. Me and Bangers got into it because he felt some type of way that I was leaving. Because ironically, around the time that I was leaving, like, the rent was due, right? And I told him I was gonna give him a certain amount of money because I wasn't staying for the whole time. So me and Bangers get into it over that. And him really just feeling like I shouldn't be going back, period. We had some words, basically. And he's like, I'll just pack your stuff for you. And I'm like, no, you don't need, there's no need for that. Like, I can come and do it. Like, mind you, I have a key at this time, so I'll come and do it when I come bring the key. I just want to make sure I'm packing everything and I don't forget nothing. So that was the conversation, right? So the day I go pack my stuff up, I go and pack it all up. I'm putting shit in like bins, and I'm seeing like, because mind you, while I've been there, I've been shopping and adding more shit to the shit that I brought there. So shit is just piling up. My entire wardrobe, basically. And I'm like, damn, I'm not gonna be able to bring all of this shit in one trip. So I tell Bangers, like, listen, I gotta leave some stuff here, and I'm gonna come back and get it. I leave. Mind you, when you walk into the condo, as soon as you open the condo door, it's like a flight of stairs. Like, it's like a little foyer and there's a flight of stairs. And that flight of stairs to take you to the first level, which is like the main level, the living room, the kitchen, the bedrooms, like all of that. The day that I come back to pick up my stuff, I open the door, and why my shit, the bins of shit that I had upstairs on the main level is now in the foyer. So who carried the bins down here? Like, who told y'all to do that? Like, who moved anything? I'm thinking Bangers was just being petty, like he didn't want me to have to come all the way upstairs type shit. I take the bins and I leave, right? Because I don't think anything. I'm just like, damn, somebody really like didn't want me to come up those stairs type shit. That's what I'm thinking. So I take the bins, I leave, I go home, a few days go by. I finally go to get dressed because I'm about to go out with some friends. I go to get dressed, and now I'm going in the bins to look for certain shit. And I'm realizing that the shit that I'm looking for is nowhere in sight. So now I start looking for other shit. Because I'm like, nah, nigga, nah. I'm like, maybe because they call themselves bringing shit down and me not going up there to just double check that everything of mine is packed and with me just assuming that I seen this bin meant that all of my shit was here, right? So now I'm thinking, okay, maybe I left other shit. So I send Bangers a text and I'm like, yo, bro, like, did I leave anything in the closet that I had my stuff in, or in the room in that closet where my stuff was in? Like, cause I'm missing some shit. He's like, no, but let me check. I don't think you did, but let me check, or some shit like that. Meantime, I put on a different outfit, I put together an outfit, whatever, and then I end up leaving anyway, like still going about my day, because I'm not about to just sit around in the house. I'm just thinking that it's at his house. After some time goes by, either I got a response or I didn't get a response, but either way, me and Bangers communicated again, and he was like, he didn't see anything, he don't think I left anything, for me to just double check. I asked him, I'm like, do you think Dusty could have taken it? Cause Dusty is he's like that. Like, he gives that. He gives very like he'll do anything to like get what he gotta get type of thing. You feel what I'm saying? He clearly was my second suspect, and like immediately thinking like, nah, this nigga probably like got right with my shit. And he's like, no, Dusty hasn't really been here, whatever. I'm like, okay. So mind y'all, at the time I was doing freelance wardrobe styling, right? And I was working for like up and coming artists, or I was working at like this magazine company out there in Atlanta. I was working with several like celebrity stylists, assisting them. Like, I had my hands in a lot of pots when it came to like wardrobe styling. So this particular day, I'm out and I'm looking for some pieces for a client, right? It was like an 80s, 70s something theme party that somebody was going to, and they wanted me to dress them for it, right? So I pull up to this spot called what's the name of that shit? It's in Little 5 Points. Damn, I cannot think of the name of it right now. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of the name of it. Either way, I pull up there. If y'all know, y'all know. If you're from Atlanta, if you're familiar with the area, like Little 5 Points, it's like a thrift store, consignment shop type of vibe, but everybody goes there, and you could like bring your clothes there and like trade it for money or store credit. You're bound to find some fire pieces in there, whether it be like vintage or like designer or like streetwear. Needless to say, I'm in there scoping through the racks, and then I see a shirt that was gifted to me from one of my friends from Chicago, and she bought it from a little boutique out in Chicago. So I knew, like, I've only seen this shirt one time, like, and I'm the only one that's ever had it. So, at least in Atlanta, from what I know. And for the irony for it to be in this store right now, I'm like, alright, it could just be a coincidence. What a coinky dink. So I'm like, alright, I keep looking. I see something else that I know is mine. Like, it's a cut in the tag the same way that the tag was cut of my shirt. Like, I'm like, nah. No. oh wow, I think this might have been the same day. If not, it was a few days after, where I hit Bangers up and I'm like, yo, did I leave anything, because I was getting dressed. This might have been the same day, all in the same day. I can't remember, to be honest with you, because it was so long ago. I'm like, okay, you was just missing some shit while you was looking when you was trying to get dressed. You had some shoes that you didn't notice to be home with you. So let's go over to the shoe section and let's just see, like, out of curiosity. Y'all, nah, I gotta light the blunt for this, cause yeah. Before I continue, I needed to take a puff because, baby, I go to the shoe section, y'all. Not one, not two, not three, but four pairs of my fucking shoes. And one of them happened to be a pair of Uggs. Now let me move my brim. Do you see my face? When I tell y'all my body got so fucking hot, the back of my ears started ringing, like my palms started sweating. Bitch. How my shit get in here? I start taking pictures, I start taking video. Yo, I'm losing my shit in this store. I immediately go up to the counter like, listen, I'm seeing shit in here that's mine that I didn't bring in here. I just left out of my friend's apartment and he told me that my stuff was there and it wasn't, and now I'm seeing it here. How can I get my stuff back? I had to file a police report to even like find out who it was, because they couldn't tell me, even though they had the ID, because you have to give your identification card when you're trading clothes for money at this store, right? So I knew that they had the information of who gave them my shit. But in order for me to get the information legally, I had to file a police report. So I filed the police report. Like, I wait for the police to pull up to the store so I could file the police report right there. The police investigated it and they fucking got the file, got the clothes, everything, and brought it to the precinct. The police officer called me on the case and he was like, hey, I just want to let you know that there were 3 gentlemen that did it. This name, that name, and then this name. So it was Bangers, Dusty, and some other nigga. Whoever was with them driving, whoever the driver was, because Dusty or Bangers don't have a car. So whoever the driver was, the getaway driver was another person that used their ID, because they gave away that much shit that they needed 3 different IDs, because you have a limit of how many items you can give them that day, right? Not all 3 of y'all. Not after I asked Bangers if he knew if I left anything, like if he like. Then get this nigga Dusty, and this is why he's Dusty. Me and Bangers finally have a conversation and he tells me the real scoop. Like, it was Dusty's idea. He picked me up, he was already in the car with somebody, he already had the shit in the car. And I asked him to come and get me from XYZ, and he came and got me, and when I got in the car, that's what the setup was, like that's where the destination was. So bitch, you don't think to tell him no, you not doing it? Like, beat this nigga ass because he trying to sell your best friend shit? These are things that I asked him. Then he kept it a buck. He was like, to be honest with you, like, I was a little mad, like, so I didn't even like give a fuck. I knew that it wasn't my idea, but I didn't stop it either. So I'm like, you know what? I can't even be mad at you for being honest. But I will say, what made things even worse was this nigga Dusty had on, I had this blue, yellow, and black, like, ski coat. That shit was so warm and dope. Like, every time I wore it, I got so many compliments. And mind you, I had that shit since high school. Few months later, why this nigga Dusty moves to Texas or wherever the fuck he moved to, and nigga had on the coat in the picture on Instagram. Then I go to the nigga page, he had on something else of mine. That's how I knew that nigga stole my shit. I forgot to tell y'all, before I even moved out, one day I was at work. Okay y'all, I'm back. Camera died. I'm smacked. I done made a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Like, I'ma just wrap this on up. But what I was saying before the camera rudely interrupted was, one day I was at work and Dusty like is on the gram flexing in a whole fit that's not his. Like, that nigga was in my shit. So me and Bangers would like have an insider, and he would call him my twin. He was like, you know that's your twin. You know that's your twin. Like, that's why he's Dusty. That's exactly why his name is Dusty. Like I said, I'm about to wrap this shit on up. That's basically the moral of the story. Your friends could be your frenemies. Your frenemies could be your friends. Me and Bangers have let bygones be bygones. And he will forever be a friend of mine. That nigga Dusty? Nah. I never seen it for him. I never will see it for him. But as we say every week, step up to the mic and let him know you got soul. And I'll see y'all next week. I'm about to fuck this sandwich up. We out.
I'm gonna have it overnight.